Greetings and salutations to all the chatters out there. Welcome back to Essentials. Welcome back to all the preseason coverage of all the stuff that's happening in Europe currently in our loaded schedules. Today, we are looking at one of what could be a historic TF2 match, depending on the outcome, or just another one where people get proven right that gimmicks don't work. In the Premiership Qualifiers, it is Aware, the notorious Demonite team from Div 1 trying to make their way into Prem versus Max team, the Big Bloke season. Basically the core of Skeda, but they have to requalify because they had too many changes. Anyway, before I get ahead of myself, hi, I'm Cerny, joined by Stu on the cam and Steven on the mic. How you doing, man?
I am doing amazing. I have been looking forward to this game all week. I just love watching the demo note. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of funny to me. And I'm a believer. I can't lie. I think the gimmick kind of does work. They got all the way to second place in Div 1, only losing to kind of an auto project team, which are, notoriously kind of strong in that Div 1 season here. So, yeah, I think this is going to be closer than a lot of people anticipate. And you know what? Our first map that we're coming up to is Product. Product very much the people who know about Demo Night. This is the strongest Demo Night pick. So is this a throw from the Mac team to pick this out straight up?
I mean, we do have to pick bans so we can see who chose what, and the fact that they didn't ban Product is an interesting choice for sure. They didn't get rid of Process either. If it went to all the way to the decider, it is also a map where Demo Night can get some crazy trims going if you're looking for that, right? So I guess they're banking on Granary just stomping it and then somehow, some way getting through Product. Because like we're talking about the Demo Night, right? We're talking about Odin, notorious, insane Demo Night player. The fact that he just commits to the bit is probably insanity in and of itself. But they have some solid players on that team as well on the side of Aware, right? They have Buko, notorious sniper. Some people say he cheats. We'll see about that, I guess. But like Product sniper map, so that's going to be another thing to worry about as well if you're playing against Aware here.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility here. We've seen Buko kind of enjoying it a little bit more and more as the time comes on, and I think they've gathered a couple of players that can get onto this scout class. I mean, they seem to be playing Orange Rear and Sake here. Sake, I don't think is surprisingly comfortable on scout here, so I think we might see him picking up the scout role. Orange Rear also has in the past come up scout and Product, so I think it's actually surprisingly likely that we might even see a sniper come out on this map. And yeah, if Buko is allowed on that sniper, it might just be GG there. Probably Europe's current best sniper in Highland, even plays in America and is well regarded on the 100+ ping. So it's a weapon that you've got to worry about. But I think enough of Aware for now. I think we got to go over this Big Bloke season because, you previously said it's got a bit of a Skeda core, but it's quite changed up here. There's been quite a few shuffles on the classes. Mac is finally back on the demo man, and Geordie is also on that scout, as well as them picking up Sale from Div 2 winners here. So Mac's got some faith in this roster. And this,
but they do swap out their Hugo from last season. They bring in Bloke/Lef once more, and then rounding out the roster, you got Piggles back on the medic for that team as well, considering New Panzer is effectively dead and all the scraps were just picked up by every other Prem team that wanted a player from there. And then finally, you also have AF on the scout class, I believe, if you haven't mentioned him yet. And then it's a strong team. Or was it Sake? I honestly forgot who was playing on which teams. I'll be brutally honest. Because everything's gotten shuffled around so much. But it is still the core of Skeda that did pretty well last season, right? They are a force to be reckoned with at the end of the day, no matter which classes they're playing on. Mac back on what should be considered his main, probably, right? I mean, he did okay on Medic, all things considered, for somebody who basically picked up the class for a couple of seasons. He certainly wasn't the strongest Medic in Europe, but he did okay. And, having to relinquish your seat to Lucas, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, all things considered. And then getting back on his class, I think he'll be doing just fine. However, an okay time main calling again, gets Pickles as his medic again. They have incredible chemistry and synergy. Can't wait to see them at LAN.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely still like a really, really good team. However, we did see them previously actually lose a game. This was kind of what you may consider like the lower bracket, like playoffs game, right? The loser of this is just in Div 1, right? So there's no chance getting back into Prem. If you do win this, you have to go to that finals against the other losers bracket finals here. So they've looked a bit shaky so far. I will see one difference I'm seeing on this roster is that Af is back playing today. I think he's just their sub for this season. It should be Geordie mostly playing. At least that's what their team page says currently. But yeah, Geordie struggled a little bit previously. Not really, you know, his class. He's very well regarded as a super good soldier player, super smart plays, clutches up all the time for his team. But he's decided to try out Scout here. And yeah, it just looked a little awkward. So I think Af might actually be a really positive addition for at least this series.
We'll see how well it suits them. Certainly a nice start to have probably a more seasoned scout when you're going on product and are banking on going up against what could be the worst possible team combination to have in terms of classes when you're playing against somebody on product, which is like a team full of Highlander players and stuff. That sounds like absolute hell. And considering we're starting soon, what do you think the scoreline will look like at the end of this map, Steven? What do you reckon?
I'm really hoping Mac has done at least a little bit of homework for his team here, because this map can be super punishing if you're out of position and don't know the ranges that this demo knight can get to. I think if you play your medic correctly as well with your demo man, I think it can be really strong, and I think they could have a super close game. But if they haven't been, you know, cooking up in the kitchen and actually doing those demo reviews of this team, I think this first map could be more of a role than we would traditionally see. I think I'm going to give it to Aware just because this is the demo night map, and this is also the sniper map, and they have the two players for that. So I'm going to give it a 3-1. I don't think it's going to be a complete roll, but I think if there's any map Aware wins, it's this one, certainly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is one where the big blokes might get caught out if they didn't do the research, because as notoriously counterable as a demo knight is, you do need to actually work to counter him, and if you don't put in that work, you may get caught out. So we'll see as the first round unfolds and the teams make their way to the first little point here on product. We'll see what these players have in store for this demo knight, what Odin plans on doing for his first coup d'etat, I suppose, as he, well, maybe just tries to get onto a medic or something. He's the player to watch on Aware. He's the playmaker at the end of the day, but the soldiers go across first for the side of the blokes and see what they can get accomplished, that being a single scout frag. Okay, they trade out Orange here as well. And Odin gets a nice little frag onto Warped to at least claim, to have done something, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty equal fight, and crucially, Sycons did die on the side of Aware, so no matter which kills you get the Demo Knight here, you've lost the mid-fight.
Yeah, they're keeping that uber advantage, which is probably the best thing that could happen to you at the start there. Mac just kind of walked over point, did a lot of damage. They got some people on flank as well, and managed to keep them alive. So while the first point here will be going towards Aware, it should be them retaking. However, Buko is making it difficult as Af is already sniped down before they can even try to get in.
That's a scary one, you know. I was expecting they would regress a little bit sooner, but I guess they're really waiting for the Uber, making sure there's no consequences whatsoever as the Uber comes across. They find nothing with it, but they get to pressure back all of Aware for a little while, establish a bit of dominance on this point for a little bit, but the re-aggression by Aware will come across very soon as well. There's a charger, but he gets stunned, sword onto Mac. Af gets headshot down as well as Piggles. It's a massacre. Everyone on Big Bloke Season falls. It's only Sail left, and he gets sorted down as well.
How does that turn even work, man? That's insane. Literally a 180 around the rock is just nuts there. Yeah, really good things to start kind of opening up that fight. A headshot and a Demo Knight head added to collection pretty much at the same time. Just makes it near impossible. They just tried to get onto Sycons, unable to. It was only Buko going down to Bloke, who was in the back. And now, straight away back down to the headshot. It's relentless, and look how forward he is. He's in again, gets the scout. It's
Piggles is in big trouble here. He's gonna, he gets the spawn just in time. Odin couldn't really get another sword off. He was out of range. But that demo is so tanky. Even if you manage to gun him down, he's got so much health and so much speed from those heads as well. He's not gonna go down easily. A fully buffed Demo Knight has 350 health.
He's on
this is the highest it can be. It's
he's
crazy.
On a 6 kill streak because he's got the Islander, right?
Oh my
which
God.
you don't traditionally see. You see the halves of Tauchi, but obviously on this map, if you can get things rolling, you just don't die. He's just a heavy. And Buko just hits the air headshot before
they need to get,
okay, get in here.
They're getting on that sniper. At least they're trying to, but they're not managing to get away with it just yet. Neither soldier managing to get anywhere close to him. Buko is the perfect backup for this Demo Knight play. He's shutting down all of the sidelines. The Uber comes out for the side of BIGBLOKESZN. And nothing to respond with as Sykenz does go down, so at the very least they find that. They manage to flip the point as well, and they finally take down Odin! The most crucial pick they can probably get onto the side of a warrior. But there's so much more time on the clock as well for the big blokes. They have to hang on to that point for quite a while, and a re-aggression will come in eventually. The Ubers are still mostly equal anyway, and unless they mount a crazy forward hold here, it can get busted if you're just a little bit uncareful and let Buko get off a headshot or let Odin charge in. It immediately crumbles, right? So you gotta be careful as they charge through, try to get them out of position, and the blokes give it up by losing both of their soldiers. I mean, trade out for the sniper, probably not the best trade deal in the world.
Yeah, they've got a lot of aggression over to the left-hand side, but they're trading out so well. Odin gets in deep straight onto Piggles, so Uber advantage should now be going towards the side of Aware here. Good bust of that forward hold there. I was a bit worried that it was going to be a bit more difficult for them, but actually it's very, very simple indeed here, as they keep pretty much all their players alive on 90% Uber, so we should expect sacks to be coming out here, because I think point pressure is just too difficult. When you have that Demo Knight, you can always seemingly find that pick into a player who's a little over aggressive.
Yeah, you gotta get that force onto Sykenz here, or even a drop or something. It's probably the only saving grace the blokes have, and they're trying for it already. Soldiers trying to go across, seeing if they can get anything done. They do get onto the medic. They do get the force out as well. Buko taken care of as well, so no sniper to worry about. Now they just have to stay alive. Manage to keep your team in there, and you will have a nice chance of re-aggression. Only losing one soldier, but don't lose your medic! Don't lose your head! Odin almost gets away with it, doesn't quite, but they find them anyway. Archer cleans up that frag regardless, and it's just falling apart once more for the blokes. They had a chance, and they just bungled it. It's gone.
Yeah, a little bit of a whip there from Odin. It looked like, oh, Piggles is going to get out safely, keep that Uber advantage, but he tried to get a little cheeky and tried to get a characteristic Uber saw, but he was unable to. The re-aggression is better here with the spawners from the blokes as they do come in, charging in. Everyone is in. Buko is a big focus target of these soldiers here, will go down straight away, as well as Sykenz also falling. So once again, just playing a little too aggressive there. The side of Aware. They get Mac though. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? He's going to be up quite late, quite after these last players. So no stickies on point. You might be able to just kind of chariot a soldier forward, as well as your scouts, and going to take this point for free. However, Piggles is going to have Uber by the time that happens.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to fight over. It's still a minute on the clock for the blokes, so there's plenty of time for Aware to make it happen. But they have to fight hard for it, and they can't really allow themselves to have too many mistakes, as Odin doesn't quite get away with it this time, but they do find Mac with a headshot. And players have fallen either side, but crucially, Sykenz goes down once more. And if they can just keep Piggles alive here, even if they have to use the Uber to protect the point, they're buying themselves so much time. The scouts can't pressure it enough. They get taken care of as well. And it looks like the blokes might just have the point secured for another wave. But one more wave is all Aware have and maybe need to win the round if this one is the one that works out.
Yeah, they also managed to hold onto their Uber during all that. Were not forced at all there, so they are going to be keeping that big Uber advantage. Times are now evening down. Warp goes down early. Demo Knight's in. Forces the medic here, so that will be no Uber charge. But Max in deep, if you can find a pick, this could be huge. That's Omga down, Odin down, and only with 10 seconds remaining on the clock, someone has to get in here and get active, but I don't know if they're going to be able to. And Piggles is nice, but I don't think Buko can get enough here. And, you know, I was saying all these things about how good Aware are, but they lose that first round. The Mac team obviously have something up their sleeves here, and they've been playing this pretty much as well as I think you can against this Demo Knight team. Odin is still being an absolute menace here, but doing a really good job of getting behind onto Buko, blocking down those threats and making sure they're catching Sykenz out, because it seems he's being taken a little too far forward on these disad situations, and they are really capitalizing on it.
I think Sykenz is dying a little bit too much. They eventually found Buko's number as well, and they found their way back into this, but it was looking a bit shaky at the start. We'll see if this carries on in momentum for the Blokes for the next round here, or if Aware find their way back into it as well. I mean, Warp getting taken out of the sky immediately, another headshot rung off onto Mac as well. Just laying down a lot of damage, a lot of pressure onto the team immediately. They find a couple frags on the other side as well, though, but Af goes down. Owen is primed and ready as well to deal with the soldier that took care of his sniper, and even if the first point is going to go the way of Blokes, it's certainly not the freest one yet. There's still a threat to deal with. There's still pressure from Aware, and, well, a Demo Knight could come around the corner any second. It's the scary situation being. You'd never know quite when he's going to show up, where he's going to be. Unfortunately, this time he whiffs it, and Piggles dies anyway, because Archer managed to slip in the meantime.
Yeah, really nice pick. Time is ticking down on the clock, but keeping your medic alive there. Syken's living with a nice little surf away. Should just mean that they are able to take it in for pretty much free here. Mac may have something to say about that. He's sending some spam in as his soldiers come in. Syken's taking down low. Does have to force that Uber out by the skin of his teeth here. And you just want to take any picks you can get here.
I mean, they find a lot.
Much wide. Yeah, and it's basically even here.
4 sacked for an even Uber, probably acceptable when you're up, like, 50 seconds now almost as well. I think it's as good as it's gonna get in that situation if you've lost Pickles early, so I think they salvage it pretty well. Now we're gonna see if the Blokes can actually get back to this point in time as well, and how Aware hold is, because this is the interesting thing, you can't forward hold either, right, with that Demo Knight. So they always have to be this passive, they always have to just let the Blokes walk onto the point, and they're gonna give them so much cap time for free as well, but it doesn't matter, because maybe that's all they wanted for Buko to get another shot off onto Pickles again. Maybe that was the whole plan.
It's like you always have to worry about that Demo Knight, right? So Match going super aggressive, trapping everything off, making it as difficult as possible. Then you have to worry about Buko, because Buko is just going to find an angle onto your medic, and it's going to be a bad time for you. However, looks like they're going to try to get another sack in here. It's Syken's, he's 98% Uber, needs to try to get his Uber charge here before the sack goes onto. They give up a point 3 here. For now, at least, but they should be very aggressive. Already getting some cap time. Need to be aware of that sniper there. Nearly manages to take down Ant. And look at this. Yeah, they're just cleaning up house. It's just basically that whole left-hand side is taken down by the sniper. And you have to fear the Demo Knight. Mac is in for the force.
Okay.
Does get it. I don't know if that was necessary, but it was a bit scary. Actually, no, did he pipe him as well in midair?
I think he got a pipe as well, but the pipe didn't, he was already Ubered by the time it connected or something, so.
Good pop, good pop.
Yeah, so you gotta respect that. Syken's managing to keep himself alive there, I suppose, but it's gonna give the Blokes a nice chance here now to re-aggress again if they can manage to do it right. You gotta be aware of Buko though. He's rearing, getting his angles ready already. Doesn't quite hit the shot that time. It's probably good for them, but Owen's on the point fighting Mac. Mac will go down. Sail taken down as well. Traded out for 1 Demo Knight and an Uber. That's probably an okay deal if you're aware. You got rid of the Uber that easily. Now you might have a chance to get right back in here. The point's still in your control as well. So you're still ticking down the time. Bloke's just not quite getting onto it in time yet. The Soldier's just not having a great time either. Warped is the one dead. Bloke, no shot of him getting in anytime soon. Mac is eating a lot of damage. Archer is going to get taken down at least. They trade him out for Af, and Odin is across once more onto Pickles again. Mac even has the katana. You shouldn't have taken that out there, bro. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, I think he maybe wanted to get a little cheeky, but you can't do that against the Master. Oh, Warped. Nice position here. Just looking at the Demo Knight, he doesn't want to engage.
I'm scared.
He doesn't want to lose his life. It's probably the smart play in the end. But yeah, things just evening out a little more here. Syken's not really healing anyone, so it would be a bit of an unknown Uber advantage here. Because look how much cap time they get each time. It's just like they want them to be this far forward.
I really do. I mean, it's a lot of time though. Look at that. Only 34 seconds left for Away already. It's more than a minute over the Blokes. So they still have a lot of time to just try and find their way back into this. This is where the Blokes worked better last season, but Owen's already in behind. Gets onto Pickles again. They just somehow let him get away with that slip through. The whole team, matter of fact, just crumbles off the back of that. And they just let him get away with it once more. They don't even cap the point, waiting for Owen to get that faster spawn, obviously. They can afford it, they got the time. And Aware very much more in control of this round. Syken's cleaning up his game, not dying as much. They're keeping the medic alive more. They're not getting on Buko as much either, and it shows immediately how much of a difference it makes. The Blokes now have to find a way back in this again. They gotta try and get on this point. Warp's already dead. They trade him out for Orange here. Max putting a lot of pressure on the point as well, just by his lonesome, as Odin is cleaned up trying to get into the back lines. And they do flip the point with only one player going down, traded out for both soldiers on the, well, a soldier and a Demo Knight, I guess, traded out on the other side. So ultimately, they will be in control for now. They will have equal Ubers though, and Lord knows what the implications of that will be come in, I don't know, like 20 seconds time when both Ubers are ready and the teams are ready to push in again. Lord knows what kind of shenanigans the Weir gets up to.
Yeah, Uber advantage should have been for Sycans here. Actually, it still kind of is here. If they can get their Demo Knight in with this Uber, it'd be really big, but no, Odin is taken down here. Now they don't have any Uber advantage at all, but they get 2 picks for it, which, you know, not too shabby at all. They need to be ready for this trade to come out. So Sake is very aggressive on the point without the beam here. Does get taken out, unfortunately, here. So Humber needs to go up big, needs to hit these shots. Does manage to go on a 10-kill streak with that kill onto Mac, but now it's pretty much a lone ranger against the rest of the team. Soldier comes in, big bomb to take it down after here, and Omga still hungry, and he's followed up by Odin coming in with an unseen charge there. But the fight doesn't stop here. Warp is still in, the Soldier's still in, but Aware finally able to cap it as the times equalize here. 10 seconds remaining. I think they can maybe get sailing, but this is it.
This is as close as the round can get. Mac eats another headshot as well. He's trying to get the point back with his team here. They will flip it, but they gotta hold on to it for another 7 seconds, as they probably will be able to. Aware just don't have the players right now to commit to that point. Unger can't whip out another amazing scout kill streak, and it will be the second round going the way of the Blokes as well. But it's a closely fought battle. They went to double overtime. It's about as close as a round of golf is gonna get.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure why they kind of lost that. That felt weird, right? I felt like they should have won that every day. Matt gets headshot there as well, and just isn't anyone able to get like onto him like instantly, which I think like should have happened, and they should have just been able to get in. I don't know. It's just kind of like the inconsistencies, right? If you can't get one pick sequence snowballing, it makes things really, really difficult. Well, that's one thing to get things started, and Matt goes down instantly here. Have to deal with this soldier behind. They do get onto Buko, but Bloke going to go down, so I think he'll kind of take that for now. So he goes in again, and he just gets Piggles, man.
You just see him start the charge, and there's like a 50-50. If he's got Piggles in his sights, he's gonna get that kill. He's got so much range. It's like a second sniper. It's just you have a second sniper that can just show up in your medic's face at any point, and if you don't have a scout to body block him, your medic is cooked. And that it happened again. I want to see at the end of the logs how many medic kills Odin's got, because I think he's probably got the most frags onto Piggles, like out of anybody on his team. It's incredible.
They like trying to get like behind here. They keep sending at least one player to go all the way behind it. It's walked down instantly. Cap time is very much on the side of the Blokes, but they backed out here. Uber is forced out. Clean Sackwave over all there. Looks like they wanted to forward hold a little bit, but it was maybe a little too late. Want this Buko sniper to try to do something. Just watching this left side here, unable to find that initial shot here. Taken down very, very low here. And now this is a difficult situation because it's a full Uber advance. You don't really have big ways just to like force them while they're on the point. You have to rely on the Demo Man. Oh, it was Orange trying to go in. Got a nice initial rocket, but denied pretty much straight away after Blake was in behind. Shuts down as well here. And now this is where the reaggress comes in, right? This is where you're waiting for Odin to come in and get a charge on someone. It's just the Uber out from Mac, the aggressive Uber straight on the Sycans.
They find what they need. Yeah, they get what they need out of it. It's basically your own Demon Knight, except he doesn't have a sword, he doesn't need a shield, he just blows stuff up. And as that's all you would want out of the Uber, get that kill. Odin trades his shield bash for scout kill. That's probably the lowest value you could have, and that's probably what your scouts need to be doing against the Demo Knight. Just body block him, stop him from getting anywhere close, because that was probably dangerous. Had he slipped past F, he would have probably gotten onto Piggles again, so it's a dangerous one to be in. Buko cleans up another kill there onto Warped once more. He's just on soldier shooting duty. He's on anti-air today, and he's doing an okay job with that. Nice headshot rung off as well as Bloke gets killed, and they find a couple of frags on the other side, though. Odin can't quite find his target. He's gonna have to settle for Archer, cleaning up that medic frag onto Piggles, and it will at least equalize things once more as Sycan goes down as well, and it looks like Aware won't be able to hang on to this one or even convert the cap this time around.
No, and it's looking good for Mac here. I think he's actually got a decent like playbook against this demo night. I think they're really struggling with the aggressiveness of this bloke side that not a lot of teams do. They're always managing to get a player behind as well, which I think has been super strong. The point does flip towards Aware here, but look at this aggression. They're just so
God.
they need to find these picks into the sniper and medic, or even the demo knight. They're just so aggro, it's insane.
1 health. He lives on 1. That's just... I hate to see it if you're trying to kill that guy, but... hey, there you go. Anyway, Aware staying in this, keeping their medic alive, crucially, making there's actually a slight Uber ad for them. It's not much to write home about, and it will be equal before anything really, comes off of it, but it still is there. Another headshot rung off once more to Mac. Buko just loves that sideline. It's working so wonderfully for him, but crucially, Bloke gets in, gets the frag he needs onto Sycons. This is huge for the Blokes. Even though they're up on... well, they're not actually up on time, but they do have up on players now. They do have up on Uber. It should be a pretty easy point to grab as long as they can keep Piggles safe from all sorts of little rats trying to scavenge for that frag. And Buko just shutting down any soldiers trying to get in anywhere is also not helping out a whole lot. As Odin goes across the point once more, we'll get one sword onto Piggles. We'll probably not get another one. We might have to start with a Mac kill instead. And he lives at
Oh, and he
three.
gets the force! This is actually cinema. They're playing it so well, and then it's just one pick that ruins everything. Bloke is in behind again, though. He's been doing such a good job of managing to get onto this medic. Look at this. They nearly wipe once again. Sycon's 20 HP, and he finally died as well. They are managing these sacks so well. Keeping Piggles alive will keep that Uber advantage intact here once again. And while Aware, they do have that time advantage on the clock here. They have some good position and a good amount of ad on the side of the Blokes and should whittle this down.
I mean, realistically, you'd expect that. You'd think that, but all it takes is one player to slip through, get onto Piggles, and things may very well quickly change for them once more. Time is still in the favor of Aware ever so slightly, and they're gonna get on the point as well after those 3 frags. They will crucially, though, escape the Blokes. They will keep Piggles alive. They will keep that Uber in play. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to fear yet. They can just take it slow. Sycons has been building like crazy as well, though. If they're not fast enough here, he will get that Uber in time before they can really do much with their own. Even if they come out early, they won't get on Sycons in time. They played it defensively enough. Aware knew that it was coming. They were ready for it. Now they're going to re-aggress with their own. It goes across the point. Won't get much with it. Omgar's the only one to fall on their side, but the Uber has come out. Where will they get anything with it? Might just have to settle for positions as Archer gets taken down as well. The point slipped in Bloke's favor once more, but there's another frag. Make it 2. Piggles gets a lot of sauce. He beats the Demo Knight in a melee duel and gets 75 Uber off of it.
Unheard of.
Yes. Wow. Okay, he might just die to a scout anyway.
He might need to get the other one though. Oh,
yeah, no, he died anyway.
God.
Okay.
I was scared he was getting the other one and it's just going to get the full Uber pop it and it's going to be a clip and a half there, however, Aware. Alright, clean up, switch the point here. It's 6 seconds remaining here. They have to get in, and this is when the Demo Knight goes crazy and they just all collapse on the point. Getting around here, but it's a closer affair than I think many may have predicted here. I think this Mac team showing them kind of that Prem experience and some good adaptability. I think the thing Aware I've seen are lacking, and like these rounds have been super close, right, is letting Bloke in behind. These scouts aren't really taking the appropriate high ground to deny him, and they're always either getting onto Sycons or Buko, and it really like shuts him down for like 20 seconds after that.
Yeah, it's been a big weak spot for them, and yet Buko still gets away with the shots. The few times he does have sight lines, but there's a soldier already as we speak. Warp manages to get onto Odin. They find the crucial brick. They know where he's hiding now. They just shut him down right away. Make that another few frags with Buko and Sake taken care of as well. And they're coming out swinging this round immediately, the Blokes. They have figured it out. They know what they're looking for. They have their priority list set up. They know Odin needs to be taken care of as soon as possible, and they know his hiding hole now. So it's gonna be a lot harder for him to probably stick up there as much as he wants to. And then if they take care of the sniper as well, they might have a good time. That being said, Odin does slip in, does get one sword onto Piggles, won't quite get the crit off though, and that's gonna make things a little bit harder for them. Bloke will get picked off eventually by Sake, but it's a soldier for a Demo Knight. Not much of a an important trade either side, and the point is in control of Blokes still. We're not able to put much pressure onto it just yet. It's going to take them a little bit more as the Ubers come into play as well. Both medics have them ready. They're down a player still inside of Blokes, and it's actually going to be popped off for Piggles as he tries to chase across. He might just settle for the Demo Knight kill if they even can, as Odin just sneaks on past, sneaks on away, and Af will be the only one to fall left behind as another scout pick is all that the Demo Knight really needs.
Yeah, and he's still in here getting Mac as well, but it's such a messy fight here, there, and everywhere. And Bloke, once again, he's able to get onto Syken, so, you know, while they're cleaning up, it's only that one pick that really matters. During all this time, Piggles has just run back to spawn, instantly got his 2 scout partners here, and, you know, they'll be able to fight as soon as Mac is back up here. They already want to try to fight a little bit here as they're pressuring this point hard. They need to be aware of this sniper though. Can be a bit of an ace in the hole if they're not careful. I think we've been a little quiet this round, but it's always something you have to be aware of.
No, and Odin slips in again. Piggles is getting better at dodging those charges as well, though. Will stay alive for this one. They find Sake as well as Orange sending themselves in. Unfortunately, the final one was the one that gets the medic, though. Now, if they can just keep Sykens in this, they're gonna have themselves a nice Uber ad netted on the side of Aware, and they're still in control of the point as well. Hasn't quite been okay, finally does get flipped as the spawners are gonna probably be a good thing to not worry about anymore and just get the point time ticking down. You are up, and the more time pressure you can put Aware under, the better for the side of the Blokes. So they'll work on that even further as Max trying to scope out where Odin is, make sure he doesn't get away with anything as he charges across once more. Oh, hits the sign though, won't quite get around the corner. This time around, the turn didn't work out. Piggles in a different position as well. Will get killed anyway, but they're already up on that fight. They just gotta keep Cycles alive again. That's the crucial thing here. Keep that Uber in play, and Aware might have a chance of coming back into this very easily. Sail does get onto a little bit of damage there, but not enough. The scouts actually lock in for a second, and looks like Aware are gonna be taking the point for once.
The time disadvantage is just so much here, though. For Aware, they're just not really able to, you know, get too much going until this push here. So they're going to be at about a minute disadvantage by the time this sack comes in. Nice early pick onto Mac. Might start to get a bit nicer, but it's definitely going to be a sack away from these soldiers, and they've been very, very good so far. And once again, they're not really ready for it. A little bit more this time. Bloke goes down early, as does Wolf, actually. So I was about to praise how good their sacks have been, but that one was a bit of a fail fish one. Unfortunately, silver lining, Piggles already on 80% Uber.
Yeah, he's been building well, and they have the time. They couldn't afford to not have a successful sack wave as well. They can get away with it. Obviously, it would have been nicer and faster to get it the traditional way, but even then, you can go for the exchange here. Unfortunately, losing your scout sail is gonna slow things down a little bit if you're trying to actually go for an exchange, and you still have to worry about all the pick classes on the other end, trying to be a bit of a nuisance or a thorn in your side as well, but just the point pressure seems to be working out well enough as well as Owen gets across the point, gets the force out of Piggles. As the counter Uber comes out of seconds as well, it's going to be a bit better for him, but he also has less people to really flash it on and heal it on, and as the post Uber positioning is going to favor Lokes getting the point once more, it's going to be down to maybe the pick classes, maybe seeing what they can do, but they've lost both scouts already. Buko's very low as well, he's not going to be able to peek anything for a while, and Odin is only just making his way forward now. It looks like the Blokes have this point under control for the time being.
They are just playing such chaos here, and it's working so well, constantly sending these players behind. They just can't really counter it at the moment, it feels like. You lose one player, and it just allows them to kind of cap the point. That soldier is, like, handily dealt with, or the sniper is dealt with. Seems the point instantly caps. There's not really any retaliation you can do here. Mac is just allowed to walk in so deep here. Sake going down as well here, but they're trading it out reasonably well. Odin, however, will fall here. Can Omga kind of cap things out here? It's looking difficult.
Yeah, it's starting to crumble a little bit for Aware. They're not quite getting away with enough. Buko's still hitting the shot every once in a while to maybe deny, but Sykens dies. Brook just slips in. He does what he needs to do. He does his job as the soldier. He gets right in there and gets another crucial, easy little medic pick. And even if they're going to cap the points out of Aware, it's a minute. Piggles has a full Uber. Blokes are going to have their spawners up as well. And they're going to use that Uber straight across on the scouts here as well for the priority target of a single Demo Knight and maybe a scout that comes in towards the tail end and won't get killed either. So never mind, maybe it doesn't matter, but they have 0 minutes on the clock, 0 seconds much rather. So as soon as they get that cap, they win. And it looks like the Blokes will very much so do that. So there you go. 3-1.
You know what I was saying. It's like it was like the opposite way around to the prediction, but yeah,
you had the scoreline right.
yeah. But yeah, they looked way better than a lot of teams that we've previously seen play this demo night team. I don't know if it's the slight roster shake up, but kind of looked like they were struggling at least a little bit. I don't think Buko really able to get too much on these final 2 rounds. Odin also shut down a little more, but I think they just adapted better than any team I've seen play this demo night team, and yeah, definitely deserve that win on this map out of everything. I think Mac did big brain it, and yeah, congrats for winning that first map. However, it won't be the last here, Sonny. It is a best of 3, so we've still got a second map to go to. But before we talk about that, should we have a look at the logs?
Gladly, I'm looking at them already. Odin got 5 medic picks, the most on his team, followed closely by Buko with 4. However, Bloke got 6 of them on the other side, and Mac got 4, and, you know, I think it's pretty even in that regard. I mean, Sykins and Pickles died the same amount of times, so really stocking it up to the medics at that point, I don't think it's going to make that huge of a difference. I think it just boils down at the end. I mean, the scouts went rampant on Warrior as well. We didn't see them protecting their medic or their backline as much, but they still fragged. I mean, look at Umger putting down a monstrous game. 34 frags is always good.
I mean, I think that's what happens when Bloke and Warp just constantly jumping in, right? Like, they're making so much space and so much chaos, and it works, right? But your scouts are inevitably going to get those kills. I think it doesn't really matter too much about the kills and deaths, right? When you can just kind of get the space. And unfortunately, we always have the cope that you can't see space on the logs. However, I think this time it was kind of true here. Because, you know, even though those scouts are going crazy with the kills, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day when you still lose 3-1.
Am I seeing that right? Buko got 400 DPM on Sniper?
Yeah.
I mean, he was hitting headshots all the time, I guess, in fights and just, like, getting kills off of it, or maybe not getting the kills. It is telling, just looking at the overall difference in frags, right? Aware outfragged Blokes by 30 kills in total. He also did about 2,000 extra damage. But as it shows, obviously, the frags, even if they got a lot more of them, didn't matter. Because they even if they got them, whenever Blokes got the frags, they were the crucial ones. AKA, they got onto Sykins, they got onto the backline, they shut down Buko, they shut down Odin when they could, and it made the difference, right? Because as good as Umger and Sake were on the scouts as they're pulling their weight, and obviously Archer getting some nice frags slipping in behind as well sometimes, that's just half the team, right? And if your other half of the team is shut down by some, you know, somewhat coordinated focus fire, it becomes a very different story very quickly.
Yeah, an interesting one to see overall. I think this is one of the games where you look at the logs and you're like, that score isn't right. Why does it look like
what
that?
happened? What happened here?
I'm struggling to like understand how Buko is doing 400 DPM and like the whole team's not just dead. That's like Highlander stats for a sniper, right? And there's 3 more players to shoot, and they seem to die more when that happens. So I think, I don't know. I mean, still get 26 kills, so I don't even know what to say. It's not like they're not going crazy. I think, yeah, losing Sykins too much, not able to pressure that point when people did just walk onto it. I think were their big issues, but it was so close throughout. I think that last round was the only one that looked very convincing.
Yeah, I think they put up a good fight for that. But enough of product. It was the map we predicted would be the most likely for Aware to take, and they didn't. They didn't end up taking it, and now we're going to be going on to Granary instead, which well, it's probably going to be a very different story when you're running a permanent Demo Knight. And you're probably not going to be seeing much sniping happening here either, so I think it's going to make quite a difference when we're looking at the scoreline at the end of it for Aware. I think this is now a battle that they actually have to pull out some miracles for.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best anti-demo night maps when I think about it, right? What do you like want in a map? You want it to be like pretty flat so he can't trim and just get free height, but then you also want it to you know, be very height orientated and have somewhere that you feel like you can kind of play around that's a little more safe for your medic and your key players, and the demo night can't necessarily get to. I don't know if that's necessarily going to change too much, but yeah. And then I also think the secondary point is there's a lot of doors where your demo man traditionally like just locks down solo and you just can't get in because the demo man's so strong on those doors that you just can't do on that demo night. And I think that's super abusable. by this team. If you just send one player in as like a sacrifice, right? Send your flank scout or your roamer in, and he just dies to Odin, and no one else dies. You should be like pretty solid, right? To like get in with the rest of your team and kind of clean up with the Demo Knight. At least that's my theory. We'll have to see if any of that plays out in practice, because I don't know if I've ever seen the Demo Knight on this map.
I mean, you'd think, given how much Aware have played with the Demo Knight and how much, they're obviously doing strategies around it, they must have obviously at some point played Granary. I mean, it could be that they just literally ban it every time it comes up, and it being picked is just an unfortunate, unlucky situation. But I would assume they have at least some form of strategy around it anyway to work with it, right? To have something going on that maybe we can't possibly conceive of just armchairing right now. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's such a demo-centric map where you need stickies to just really play to your fullest, right? To be impactful, and vice versa. Like, if you're just trying to charge through a choke point, you're gonna get mulched instantly. I feel like there's no way Odin is gonna get away with anywhere nearly as much. I think the only chances where I can see Aware making something work is if they somehow get into just insanely chaotic fights over and over. If they somehow manage to force out chaotic fights that blokes aren't comfortable in, and they get caught out of position in, then maybe. But I think if the game slows down, if they, make it so that Aware can't be as aggressive and they can't just constantly keep running forward, I think they're gonna have a really rough time.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. This feels like this map should be towards the Blades. They've been playing it really well, and they've kind of been playing well in the chaos here. I think that was one of the most chaotic product games I've seen in a little while. Maybe it's just so different, right, from what we normally see, but I think they kind of thrive in the chaos on the side of the blokes there. I don't think it's something they shy away from, and yeah, they showed to be quite good at it. You asked me for the prediction last time, so Cerny, it's your turn to see if you're a gambling man. What are you predicting on this second map?
I think there is a chance that Aware catches blokes off guard, especially early, and they might get away with a round somehow. But after that, it's going like 5-1. I think it's like, if it's not going to map time because blokes just slow it down, it's going to 5-1 within like the 20 minutes after that, right? I don't see a world in which Aware can easily win this map. If they do, then hey, more power to them. They've proven me wrong. They've somehow defied historic precedents and whatnot, and everything that I probably think I know about this game after playing it for way too long. But I guess we'll see. It's the mid fight. It's gonna unfold. Gamers are rolling out, and they're making their way to this mid, and we'll see if they have an ace up their sleeve to work with it. I mean, just getting onto the demo early, sure, you win the demo duel. Even if your demo isn't there early, Mac will just get taken down straight away, but they found Sycons on the other side. That's probably the only frag they've really wanted anyway, as long as they can keep Piggles alive, and that they do.
Yeah, the insta double bomb. Mac gets there so much faster. He gets some good initial damage up top there, and then double bomb straight onto Sycons. He just has absolutely no chance of surviving. Piggles plays it far back. Doesn't matter if Mac dies, as long as you keep your heals alive, your uber advantage. They just end up taking mid back for free straight away on the bloat. So a successful first mid for them here. We'll see how they like to push into second here, because I feel like this Demo Knight could be a real pawn in their side if you manage to get a light on the mid. They also have a sniper on Brugo.
I mean, you're not going to see it as much, but I mean, the situation, yeah, there's some sidelines on second at the very least. They rotate out to the lunchbox site, though, the alternate site here. Very, very clever to avoid any of that aggression for the blokes and get themselves in a closer position on that side instead. And Odin has switched to stickies. I don't think I have ever seen this. I don't think I've seen this man ever use a sticky bomb launcher before. What is happening?
Yeah, on the last point, he always switches to stickies because it's just a troll.
Oh, okay.
To not like trap the point and stuff. So this is normal stuff, but yeah, obviously not his wheelhouse, right? The stickies are never going to be as good as the Demo Knight here, so you might see it be a little bit awkward, but yeah, it's better just to not allow them to get it for free, right? Ubers have evened up, so it's going to be Sats coming out here most likely. Gotta be a little bit careful, Sycons here, that you don't get caught out, but he's playing close by those spawn doors, and yeah, he's straight in here. But now it should be the call that medic is in spawn. Maybe they want to come in, however, they lose free straight away. There's no chance of that happening. And might even lose a point here if they're not careful. Warped, however, wants to try to come in and contest. Get some good damage onto Arentrayer, but going to be met by the rest of the Aware team here. And Odin still on the stickies here. So hasn't instantly switched back.
Might as well commit to it for a while, right? Evidently, he's realized that maybe on this map it isn't the worst idea to try something a little bit different, and if it works out for him, so be it. They gotta hold on to the second as well. Ubers are equal. They might be banking on that Buko sniper instead. It's unfortunately a very awkward point to snipe on, though. It's this Granary second, like, you can get some diagonal angles across the lunchbox and stuff, but you really need people working with you to open shutters or somehow catch somebody as they just about peek around a corner and it's very small doorways. It's not the best point to snipe on, but I suppose the gimmicks are what got them this far, so why not keep trying the gimmicks and see how far they can take you further on forward as BIGBLOKES make their way to the second point. Get a little bit of pressure again as well, seeing what they can get out of it here, as Bloke will be the one taken down as he tries to go for a bit of a sack. Can't blame him for trying to open things up, but Aware are playing it passively. They're playing it safe.
Yeah, Olga played that super well, just completely body blocked Bloke as he came in for that sack there. And yeah, doesn't manage to get on the cycles, which is really crucial. However, Orange Tree will go down here. Sake as well, after surviving up top here, makes things a lot more difficult and might send them all the way back into last here. I don't think they want to stay in.
Nah, it's very ambitious. Buko. Yeah, Buko can't quite get the shot onto Mac. He's still trying to get it, and he will at least settle for a body shot onto a scalp, but that's all you get in there, and that's not going to help you much if you're trying to hold on to that second. You're going to go back to last. At least no Ubers were used. I mean, it's good for both sides, but also bad for both sides, because that means there's no decisive advantage on his last push, as BIGBLOKES just gotta make their way in there and bully these players back, where Odin is just waddling around in low ground, completely low. Sykens gets taken down in the meantime. Couldn't even use his Uber.
Yeah, he was trying to arrow there and just dropped it to App coming in from the high ground here. Now this gives a huge advantage towards the side of the BIGBLOKES Sake, trying to get in, get something, but Piggles is out sitting pretty. He's not worried at all here. And yeah, this is, you know, one to lose here for the BIGBLOKES. I think there's not any better situation that's really awful than this full Uber advantage. They are going to have, you know, some semblance of a gun up and are going to have a heavy as well. So definitely not the easiest last to push, but I think with a team of this caliber, we should see it going for it.
The Uber comes in, they find a sentry straight away as well. Now they got to get on that heavy on the high ground, though, as he drops down, but eats up a lot of damage, and they can't get onto Odin just yet either. They eventually eat up a few kills, though. They find the heavy as well, crucially, so nothing to worry about there. They can just pressure the point. And there you go. They round it out. Clean last push. As good as they come, really. And BIGBLOKES are going to go up around with plenty of time to spare for the future, but 6 minutes is decently fast for the first round.
Yeah, it didn't slow things down completely, right? I think this team is not one that particularly excels in playing slow on the side of Aware. I think they like the constant action, the constant back and forth, and you know, when they play very regimented, as a lot of Mac teams do with their sacks, I think they're one of the better teams when it comes to sacking. Then yeah, it just makes it not Aware's game. Double ball coming in straight away here. On to Buko goes down there. Odin and Orange Trade down, only for BIGBLOKES, the only casualty of this whole thing. Piggles surviving. Luckily, Cyclones is going to be getting out here, but that was just a bit of a tragic mid.
It had a chance to not be as well. Odin got onto Piggles at the very start of it, but did something I've also never seen him do. He missed his swing. He missed the swing onto Piggles. Piggles gave him the old slip right out of it and stayed on top, stayed alive, and obviously that gives the BIGBLOKES another beautiful chance to convert yet another last push. This time it's not going to be as free. At the very least, they're going to have to do the thing they did last time and work for it a little bit. Get a force or a drop out of Cyclones and then see where it takes you from there. Unfortunately, that's going to require a little bit of extra work. They can't just Uber in and take it as they would normally like to. So, at the very least, yeah, we'll keep that Uber alive. They keep themselves a consolation, even if the mid is lost. They didn't lose as terribly this time around. I guess we'll see what the game is, what the plan is. As Mac just jumps on in, gets on top of the medic, but we'll get the force out of it as well. There you go. That's what you needed. You even had BIGBLOKES in there for follow-up in case he desired it. Unfortunately, for him, it wasn't even necessary. They just got it out just like that.
Yeah, super simple force coming out there. Just literally went from that left-hand side and once again going to be having that uber advantage. And I think this is the difference in these teams, right? The caliber of players on this Big Bloke's side. I think everyone other than Cell has got at least a season of Prem. There's multiple time Prem winners here. So it was surprising to see them lose previously, but they've kind of been looking like a different beast here. Playing super well. Thus far, Mac uses the super ring, can't find the sentry straight away, but will use it with plenty of time to spare. Looks like they might even catch out a couple of other players. How is Mac still alive here on 20 HP?
Okay.
He's just doing absolute god's work. Just Sycons and Orange Free. Oh, and Romga actually left alive here. They need to be careful.
Okay. They hang on to it. Just so much damage out of the soldiers there, by the way. Bloke and Warp doing so much on the team, but just one rocket short to clean up the kill onto Sycons, and it's enough. It's enough for Weir to hang on just now. Sycons gets that full Uber in tow as well, and they're probably going to be able to cap off second, unless there's a lot of pressure to get them off that point. Mac trying his best to get that out, and you know what? He gets something even better. He gets the force. That's all he could have probably wanted and more. Even if they do cap second eventually, they go up on the sniper as well. And if you can maybe be a bit of a difference maker here. I mean, they can. They don't have Cooper on the side of Pickles just yet. Ode back up on the Nebonite as well. Will shot around the corner, doesn't quite get the swing off he wants to, and just gets struggled around. And there it is. There's just, you don't have the verticality. You don't get the speed as much. And immediately, Blokes are just going to leapfrog that back into second. They got a full Uber as well. Probably take it to last.
Yeah, they've been playing this super solid, making it difficult for Odin to get in and get onto this medic as well. Nice a chance. Apple will also force out the Uber here. Need to make sure your medic's in spawn, which he's not. Gets taken down by Mac here, and what was looking a little tragic is turning out pretty good here for the side of the Bloke. Should be able to tap up this point and then just Pickles can just leave, right? There's not really anything for him to worry about. Looks like they want to test a little bit with these soldiers, but it's going to be Odin in, gets a slash onto the soldier, but he's buffed up enough that he's going to survive. No problem at all.
Yeah, it's Mac is back, baby. He's just back to where he was, where he wants to be. It's very comfortable, and it's just a beautiful play. Once more, they're gonna have that Uber ready way sooner than the other side ever could, and we're gonna be working from behind again, trying to see if they can hold on to this just somehow, some way. They got the sniper on orange here this time around. Buko back up on the heavy. Omgr putting the sentry down as well as best he can, but the Uber is already gonna come in on the right side, and Heavy's gonna be dead meat very quickly. Sentry taken care of as well. Everybody else just trapped in spawn. Nobody there to even try and block the point as it's just capped off. And the Blokes are gonna pick up that second round.
Yeah, it's just so clean, right? When that Heavy's on the low ground, you just instantly go through and clean him up. And then there's not too many players outside those spawn doors that can block the point. They just get so much initial cap time and easily convert a player even down there. So really well played so far from the Blokes. They have been looking super solid on this match. They just need to find another gear on aware here. I think unfortunately Odin is being shut down like he never has before.
I mean, we'll see, I suppose. There's always a chance that Weir finds some sort of strike. They get an incredible mid, and it just snowballs from there. Odin serves some explosions to get some height that he needs to, crucially, for that charge. And then, you know what? It may just be the thing that works out for them. They couldn't find Pickles. He's slippery as ever. But they got everybody else.
Pickles does eventually go down. He knew he was caught. Just stood in choke. I don't think he has a kill bind. Which is quite funny at this level to not have a kill bind.
He doesn't need one.
No, I think he just has to type killing console. That's true. He does live a surprising amount. Goes for those ballsy fights a lot more than a lot of other medics we see in Prem here. But that's the first mid win here for Aware. They will be trying to get in onto last and have that full Uber. However, they're going to have Heavy and an engineer to deal with. Right? This is just so difficult. Actually, they don't have a heavy cell on spy, checking the off classes, checking if there's a sniper.
Which of course there is, because they're playing against a Highlander team. Yeah, they're gonna be having to go up against the sniper. But on offense, on last, sniper has some opportunities. At least here, you can get him some deep angles. They're just gonna walk in on the side as well and just go for the Uber. Fair enough. Warped gets picked off by Buko as well, as he's just laying down a lot of suppressive fire. They find the kill onto Mac. They have a lot of damage with Heavy. Will eventually take him down as well, and they just get the round.
Yeah.
What? They just snatch it under their noses.
Yeah, they just kind of went so aggressive, got in super far. Warp wanted to get onto that sniper, but Buko just hit 3 body shots on him. Sometimes there's not much you can do, right? You get the knockback when you're like jumping. Just hits them well timed, and yeah, they convert around actually. So I was saying, you know, Odin wasn't unleashed, however, it looked good on that round, and they are back in this game. It's still 2-1 towards the Blokes, but with this much time left, it's still all to play for over half the game.
When you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Where once they get a little bit of aggression going, they will absolutely roll with it. And we'll see this next mid fight. It's going to be a continuation of that, or if Blokes are going to be playing a little bit more passively. Mac picked off early again. They find Bloke as well, playing around it decently well. Odin's going to live for the time being as well. Will eventually get taken care of though. Syken's also dangerously low, meaning heals are going to be spread thin for a while for Aware as they trying to keep their own medic alive, and crucially, still win the mid fight anyway. But Bloke's doing a little bit better this time around. Not only did Pickles live, he also doesn't have to kill Bite this time around because he's got 2 scouts escorting him out.
They will be coming up with the Uber here as well, so it's going to be a stack attempt. Omga in deep against 2 scouts. Actually, they want to try to trade, but they don't have here. On Syken, he's 95%, and against these kind of scouts, it's so difficult. A saw from Pickles keeps the Uber going on for longer, keeps him in the fight.
God.
They get the Uber, he finally died.
Anyway.
What a play!
Honestly, the scouts doing a magnificent job. They're just soaking up that damage from AF. Just keeping that alive somehow, keeping it in there. Piggles doing his best as well, but just doesn't get away with it. And we're going to keep rolling forward. That's a crucial advantage to have now. Will they be able to continue further into that last as well? A second is capped off. They still have a lot to go to an Uber. 44% is a fair bit to build, and Pickles isn't going to be too far behind unless they just want to dry fight this, which is going to be hard if the Blokes are already this far, but it doesn't matter because they didn't pay attention for but a moment, and Odin slips into your backline and picks off Pickles once more.
Yeah, only 2 players up here. It's going to make things difficult. Nice pick by Warp, though. Definitely makes things a lot more difficult when it's come in here. It's just Bloke left alive. He's finally cleaning up, and they quickly even up these rounds here. I felt like the big thing there was on the mid, that they were all just looking at Demo Knight, assuming he was going to do something. Soldier? Both soldiers just kind of shot back, and he was like, not ready for it. And it just worked. So, you know, you think you have to always be aware of this Demo Man, but you also need to be aware of the rest of his team coming in and focusing you down. And they've been doing a good job of shutting down these soldier bombs. These past 2 rounds, Syken's not dying on these. But we'll see what happens coming into this 5th mid.
Odin is fully embracing his role as the living flashbang, and we'll have to see if they can finally understand that he is just a distraction. He's not the target they're looking for. Syken's is, and they find him immediately. Nice bomb across by Warp is going to pick that one off, and the rest of the team for Aware crumbles immediately after that. Pickles did go dangerously low as well, though, and there's an Odin in his face who would have loved to clean up that kill. It's only going to be 1 player remaining with Umger, and he's already well out of there. No danger for that scout to doing anything either, but there was a moment of danger there. Bloke's playing that really well, though. Got the mid under control that time around. Big bomb by Warped early. And there you go. They put themselves in a nice position once more to immediately take back the lead.
Yeah, and they've looked really good with these Ubers so far. They have not failed one yet. Honestly, look really solid. Really like they know how to deal with these last odds that Aware have set up here. We'll see if they can make it 3rd time lucky, as they will be going in for this push here, sir.
Well, they do send it in straight away, as you do. Normally, yep, just get the sentry taken care of. Lots of damage to the heavy as well. Immediately just mulch him down. The first way to go down is going to be Mac, and it doesn't really matter. Everybody else is so healthy, so much kept them on the point as well. They just clean up the players that walk on one by one, just like that. Pick up that next round, put themselves back in the lead. Still 13 minutes left, though. We've seen a lot, and there may still be a lot upcoming.
Yeah, I feel like if you're the Blokes, though, you're just gonna slow things down here, right? You don't have to take particularly aggressive middle. You can kind of worry about the threats that are on the board. You don't have to go for anything crazy. You might honestly be okay with backing up a little bit, losing that mid and going back from this 1 round, or you can stay aggressive. You can keep going for these rounds and just making that round differential bigger and bigger here, but we'll have to see what happens as we are into this.
Let's see if Aware find their way back into it, or another big bomb is all it takes for Seconds to fall immediately. Instead, they're going to settle for a couple of frags onto the side of Aware instead, and crucially, they find Piggles. That's a consolation at least for Aware, but Buko is just stuck in. They're just trying to save some time for Seconds, who manages to escape will get back to last safely, but there is a big chase on, and there's absolutely no chance that Aware is going to get out to second for free at all. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. Aware might have that Uber to work with, but I don't think it will matter too much.
It looks like they may want to try to pressure in here, but Odin already got stickies up on last here. Doesn't look like they particularly want to push out here. Look at this, they're pretty much fully set up for last. There's two soldiers spamming down onto the point, but this is all they can really do, right? It's just try to make a little bit of spam, play this sniper of Buka. If they get a pick, maybe they can go in, but they don't need to do anything crazy here. On the side of the blokes, they can just kind of take it through this lunchbox area. That's exactly what they're doing.
Or not do anything. They're up around at the end of the day, right? If they want to slow the pace down a little bit, that's gonna bite Aware even more. Aware needs pace more than anything in the world. If they slow down, that is when they crumble. It's like a jet plane. They need the speed of those fighter jets, otherwise they just can't even fly. They can't sail on those wings alone, and that's probably gonna be their downfall here, not having any momentum. I mean, trying to get out of your own last is already a tall order in and of itself on Granary, but looks like the blokes are going to be playing that exactly. They're just going to be waiting for that, send in a sack or two, see if they can maybe get onto the medic here on last, or just get any crucial picks. That didn't work out. Oh well, you're up around anyway, you might as well try.
Yeah, you're up around, and this second is so hard to get into, right? You can play this soldier so close, and he just gets such a good spam angle onto you that makes things ever so difficult. So, even though all these players are coming in and they're aggressing onto the point, they're still really struggling here. His Bloke and Warp are just doing so much damage, however. Nice snipe does take down Bloke with a lot of ability damage from the rest of the team. So, they capture that second point, but now you've still got to deal with them trying to come top here on the side. Oh, Sake's in behind, actually. Get on the Sake cam here, Mr. Producer. He's in, he's unspotted. Oh, he's spotted. It's Jamer, don't worry.
Didn't quite work out. Unfortunate. Nice try though. Nice try. Could have done something, but it's like players in Prem kind of know to watch drop down in situations like this, and you can't really get away with it for free anymore. You got to work for it, and yeah, Aware not quite getting away with what they want there. But hey, they still got second under control anyway. They're making the blokes work for it. Unfortunately for them, the blokes are already very close. Matter of fact, the bloke himself manages to get the force out of seconds and also get Odin dangerously low as the counter Uber. And Uber comes out of the blokes, but it's so much better. And Sykes is, yeah, he's caught immediately. There's at least a bit of follow-up by Umger trying to get anything salvaged by killing Sail, but that's probably not the frag you're looking for there. Just a juggle onto Sake as well. He's not getting anything done. And this may very well be another round for the blokes.
They're now just feeding one by one, right? They're losing one player after another. Luckily, Aaron managed to get out here, so we should see all these players come up in time. But no, he actually beat. He wanted to go for the hero play as well here. Now, that's going to make that last just so much harder to deal with here. Pickles in 70% as well. They might even walk it before then if they're feeling a little bit ballsy here. I think the smart play when you know they have something good sniper would be to not to, but I wouldn't put it past it, but no, they've slowed things right down. 95%. Arentry finally comes up, but maybe too late as it's a full Uber advantage here for Aware. Pops in on Matt, goes in deep on this left-hand side onto the sentry. Will take that down. Everyone else pretty much in spawn. They're onto this heavy and they can down so well in the past, but actually gonna lose one here, and it's looking pretty okay here. Got to deal with this soldier who's on point here. Now just a lone scout of Cell, 100 HP. Not a fight.
Alright, impressive. Honestly, Odin even went in with a charge there. He didn't have stickies. He decided that's not going to be something he's going to want to do. If everybody's on the point, just charge in. That's what it's for. Get second back again, and I guess they're hoping for momentum here, hoping to keep it rolling forward, but blokes are slowing him down ever so slightly. Nice little pipe there onto Umger as well to take care of that kill, and just slowed him down ever so slightly more. They still have an Uber to work with though, and they're going to be keenly aware of that on the side of blokes. They got warped in close already, matter of fact, and they're going to want to make sure that he doesn't get away with anything if you're aware. Aware hate that this is slowing down. Hate that the scout is being in their sidelines, is being a little bit of a nuisance, and it's already falling apart. Just losing Orange here killed any momentum they could have possibly had getting out of secondary again.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've left as far as they have here. Maybe, I guess, Yard is too hard to keep a hold of because you can just take that lunchbox area here. But yeah, I don't know. I expected a bit more of a fight for them to hold on to second, but. Yeah, I guess they make the safe play and back up, and they're gonna have to deal with that stuff.
And they're gonna be coming in right away. Unfortunately, this time they're ready for him. They expected it this time around. They've understood the playbook that Mac is playing by. Shut him down immediately, and the rest of the Sacks can't really follow up anything either. So that second is gonna be under a lot of pressure immediately as Aware move in to retake it. But the time is ticking down. Nice little shot into Warp is gonna open things up even more for them. And Odin is ready to charge. He knows that Medic is right there. He gets the force off on it as well. It's gonna be probably a counter Uber coming out of seconds very quickly as they try to take back Yard as best they can, but there's nothing to chase with this Uber. It's gonna come down to the post fight instead. They only find the sole soldier who was in behind, so it's going to be yet another hard one for Aware to follow up with.
Yeah, they were all kind of in one door there and all kind of just got collapsed on, and once the Uber was over for the side of the Blokes, they kind of dispersed, only lost one player during all of that, so once again, well played from the Blokes, dealing with that demo night well, even though they, you know, do have to pop, they managed to get the counter force, and they also just managed to make a little bit better of it, to be honest here, and they've held it down Yard, now they're pressuring at top of second already, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough battle for Aware. The time is ticking down as well. It was under a lot of time on the clock for them still, like, you know, 5 minutes ago, but 5 minutes ago was 5 minutes ago. It's 6.5. You're on your own last, effectively. Like, sure, you're still holding second, but Bloke's already in. Almost gets away with, actually does get the force out of seconds. Just a little bit too skittish on that one. Doesn't quite respect his demo's ability to keep him alive that time around. Odin can't really follow up with anything either, and that is it probably already. Another prime opportunity for the Blokes to pick up another round, and at that point, it may very well be curtains.
They're just really struggling on this point. They just can't get anything started. Into this second point, as much as they may try, and then these camps are just not really working. Positioning himself really well is Piggles, and now once again they get to push into a last with an Uber advantage, and you know, pretty decent for them so far. Matt coming in on this right hand side straight into the spawn doors. There's not really anyone outside this door. It's just Odin on the very precipice of things. No one able to block it as they just cap it up. Absolutely free. No song by able to dispose them. Now it's 4-2, and now with 5 minutes remaining, Aware are going to have a crazy next round.
They're gonna have a couple of crazy rounds, actually. One isn't enough. They need two if they want to have a chance at keeping themselves in these Prem qualifiers and take it to a third map, because otherwise they're out, I'm pretty sure, and the Blokes are in. So it's do or die for Aware. If they want to turn around the meta on its head, if they want to show everybody that Demo Knight is indeed viable, if you just autistic enough to make it work. But we'll have to see if this is the mid that turns it around, or if this is going to be yet another doomed experience as medics go down on both sides already, but crucially so much damage get dealt out for either side. 1 HP on the scout there for a while, but Ward just happens to be in the one position Odin couldn't do anything for him.
Just slightly above it. That is
Just
the
above him.
position. Just be a little bird, right? In your little nest. You're quite happy with that.
We have captured the control point.
But yeah, I mean, mid going towards the side of the Blokes is not what you want here. And now this is just going to force them to have to be aggressive, right? They need to try to get in. And look at this, they've already taken one on the side of the Blokes here. So it's going to be so much harder for them to get in. Even trying to get their players round. I don't know if they're going to be able to do something. Trini's going to go crazy in this drop down area, but it's safe being the first pick. Mac does go down as well, and now this is the chaos fight that they've won. It's Tree in huge damage, followed up by Odin here, just Bloke in behind. Piggles also somehow surviving. Is in choke right now, but not for long. Odin gets the perfect link charge, takes him down there, and yeah, if Bloke goes down in the back here, it should be a wipe for the side of the Bloke, but anyone dealing with him quite yet?
Yeah, I mean, he's a bit scary, isn't he? He's just like getting a lot of captain there. Might even get away with that kill onto Archery. Oh, beautiful. Beautifully done. Ah, my lord. He still gets away with that anyway. Will it matter much? It's probably just going to slow them down ever so slightly, but Aware still have to get into this mid regardless, and they are down 2 rounds. They can't afford to take forever. 3 minutes left on the clock. Okay, a fragment of Piggles might open things up a little bit, but gonna have to worry about Odin getting taken down immediately as well. Mac finally gets his revenge with the katana. Will be able to clean up that kill. Dies immediately after to Umbra, but Sykins gets taken down. It's no heals for either side. Better health for Aware, maybe what it takes for them though to bully their way into mid anyway, as Bloke gets cleaned up as well, can't quite escape. And it's this momentum that Aware needs going forward. Just under 3 minutes left. It is do or die. They have to somehow keep this up. They want to have a chance at taking it to a third map. On the least likely map that a Demo Knight could ever work on to begin with as well. And it's gonna be just such an uphill battle, man.
Yeah, so hard here. They are just trying to get in through choke here as well, but it might be a bit of a mistake. There's good damage in from the soldiers up top. Odin is also in, trying to get some swords here, and it should be Piggles getting taken down if they can hit his final rocket, as he can here. But Cyclone's once again left alone here, and he has to try to fight a soldier of war. This is not the situation you want to be in.
No.
Oh,
Doesn't
don't tell me you don't have a kill bind either, man.
What's with medics now? Nobody's got kill binds anymore? What
Just roll.
the hell's going on, man? At that point, just disconnect, honestly. Good lord. I mean, I think if there was a chance for Aware, that was it, right? That fight going their way would have been the one. I think at this point, it's GG. I think Sygas has made peace with that as well. That's probably why he didn't even bother kill binding. It's just GG at that point. Like, you can try and fight for it now. You can get some nice frags in here and there. I mean, Piggles Mac, they go down, they find Bloke as well. It's looking all right for them, right? But they just have to pull up an absolutely insane 2 rounds, which I'm pretty sure is just physically impossible at this point. So here we are. We aren't gonna make it to Prem just yet. Gonna wait a little longer.
This loss will put them down. Back to Div 1, obviously got second place last season. Shuffled up their roster a little bit here. Unsuccessful, unfortunately, to getting into this Premiership season. However, the Blokes, this is not the end of things. They're still going to have to go into that final game, right? They're still going to have to play one more game to secure themselves getting into Prem. And I think they really want to here, right? This is one of those teams that is just... If they don't get in, I think it's like a disband, right?
Yeah, no, I think if the Blokes do not manage to win their next qualifier game against, I believe, Garda, who won the other match tonight, we might not be seeing much from them for the rest of the season at all. Not in any other div. Maybe never ever again, because they wouldn't put it past themselves. But hey, GG's. Nice showing by Aware nonetheless. Because you gotta consider this, right? BIGBLOKESZN is no slouch of a team. They are quite strong. Like, as far as the talent pool for Prem teams goes, they're an easy playoffs contender, I would say, right? So Aware even just putting up rounds at all and giving them a bit of a run for it is a strong showing regardless. No matter how you feel about the Demo Knight meme team, they gave them a bit of a run for the money at some points, which is surprising, I think.
Yeah, especially on that first map, right? It was very, very close throughout the whole thing. Yeah, they definitely had the opportunity to take on that first map. I think the second map was always going to be difficult, but Process, I think, also would have had a lot of life to it. It's another favourite of the Demo Knights here. But unfortunately, we do not get to see it. It will be the side of Aware making their way back down to Div 1. But do stay tuned, because, yeah, as we were saying before, there is one more game. Will not be happening tonight, but it should be happening a little later this week right here on Essential. So do stay tuned in for that. Any final words from you, Cerny?
Got nothing to add. Just look forward to it. It's going to be quite a spicy one, because I think this Garda team this season is also looking mighty strong. So we're going to be having quite the doozy on our hands with that last qualifier match. And it'd be unfortunate for either of those teams to not be able to make it into Prem. But unfortunately, only one of them can. So I guess we'll have to see that. Till then, I guess have a good night, and come back tomorrow for some Poland qualifiers as well. They're on the schedule right there. You can see them. It's right there.